So good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Buenas tardes. I'm here today with Annick Bélanger, the owner of Sweet Bocas in Panama that we love so much, and Annick's and the resort and the private island. So Annick, let's start. We start straight by the presentation and you start with work? Huh?
Yeah, go ahead.
But it's nice to have you with us again. Huh? Your beautiful new logo, very classy, very chic. And then, of course, the best definition, a private estate hosting one party at a time.
Yeah, we decided to really, just a very quick note on that, we decided to word it that way because we realized over the years that some properties, and not to take anything away from them, call themselves private islands, but have more than one group or more than one party going on at the same time. We have never had that in Sweet Bocas. We've always had just one party or one group, however you want to word it, at a time. And now we've made our prices a lot more accommodating and a lot more flexible for smaller groups. Because during COVID, that's all we've been getting is like groups of 5 or groups of 6 or 7 or 8. Pre-COVID, we only had the smallest group we ever had was 9 people. During COVID, and since COVID, the biggest group we've had was Festive last year with 10. So we want people to really understand that whether you're 2 or 5 or 6 or 20 here, it will always just be one party at a time, and a lot more accessible in pricing now because you don't have to pay the price as if you were 12 in the house.
Yeah, so this is wonderful. Huh?
Private estate. Yeah.
So how to get there? You want to let us know all the choice because there are a lot of choices and options.
Yeah. So you can fly commercial to Panama City, especially if you come in from Europe, because 90% of our clients so far have flown in private directly into the Bocas del Toro airport because it's an international airport, and from the States because 90% of our clientele has been Americans. It's a hop, skip, and a jump away from many, many cities, and so clients fly in private straight into the airport. If you fly commercial, you fly to Panama City. You can fly private from Panama City to Bocas. We have an FBO, and so we quote you depending on the amount of people for a private flight, or you can fly commercial. But with Air Panama right now, there are only 2 flights a day. So depending on your connections, there's one in the morning and there's one in the afternoon. There will be more and more as demand becomes higher and higher, but right now there's only 2 flights a day. So if you're flying commercial into Panama City, I recommend that you get on a red eye somehow or something. So you come in early in the morning to be able to catch the 10 a.m. flight and be in Sweet Bocas midday. And if not, there's a flight in the afternoon, which you would have to get the latest into Panama City around 10-ish so that you can make the check-in for noon or 1 and be on the flight at 2 to be in Sweet Bocas for 3. So that's pretty much how private, you don't have to worry about anything. You know, we organize, we pick you up at the airport, we take you to the domestic, or you can fly directly from the international airport to Sweet Bocas. We can quote both pricing. Most of the time, flying directly from international to Sweet Bocas is about $1,000 more just because of fuel and because of the pilot's time and because of the permit that we need to have to land at the international airport. So the prices are very good and very fair with the private flights as well.
So you change it a little bit, you increase the size and by giving away you have a new guest house. So now we are talking about the 6-bedroom villa over water villa. Yeah. And then we can see the fitness house over there in the back with the swimming pool. I like the ocean around. I think one side you can dive and the other side you're actually at knee level, something like that.
Correct. You've got about 3 or 4 feet on each side of the house, which you see a ladder on one of the pictures here, or both ladders actually, that you can go down because you can't dive on those sides. And in the front of the house where you see everybody with their surfboards there is about 30 feet deep. So you can definitely just jump off the deck of the house. And the best snorkeling you'll find is right underneath the house here because the house sits on a coral reef. And we've got the Smithsonian who has a station like literally 2 minutes away from us. And so they come and do some studies about the marine life that's going on. And it's very, very interesting, whether it's nighttime or daytime. At nighttime, we have LED lights underneath the house. and you can watch a spectacular marine show there like all night long if you want to. We have these new day beds. That was a new addition. That's a nice picture, by the way. I haven't seen that. That's great. Yeah, we just got these day beds like last year, and they're wonderful. People love them, and they hang out there all the time, and there's parasols and stuff. It's very, very sunny here. Just a quick mention on the weather. And it's funny because everybody tells me like it shows that it's always raining, and it's not. You can never rely on internet for the weather in Bocas. It's 365 days the same. You're in the tropical jungle. If it rains, it drizzles. It'll rain an hour, it'll blow over, and it'll be gorgeous. So it never stops you from doing anything you want. It's quite hot. It goes anything between 90 to 100 during the day, and the evenings don't get any cooler than about 80. So it's a very comfortable weather. I've been here for 15 years operating, doing everything with Sweet Bocas for 11, and the weather has been the same 365 days a year for the last 11 years. So trust me, don't trust the internet.
And I've been there at different time of the year. It was beautiful. Huh? What I like about these villas, you have so much different style. You know, you can be in the daybed, you can be here in the corner, you can be there is a lot of atmosphere, huh? Different.
Yeah, there's many different places you can hang out and just lounge around. The villa was, I created the whole thing and I designed it because I wanted it to be very user friendly, and I wanted people to feel like they were in the comfort of their own home. So we have a lot of multi-generational families, and so the colors were mostly for the kids. I didn't want the parents to start freaking out because their kids are staining some white or beige or, you know, whatever, very light color cushions and everything like that. This is very easy to wash and very easy to, so there's no issues and nothing to be freaked out about. So that was the whole purpose of, yes, this is your room, Dominique.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad it's all set. Huh? We
are one of your rooms because you've stayed in quite a few.
It's true, but I slept twice in this one. So this could be bedroom number 7 if you had a family that just want to stay in this overwater villa, which is officially.
The grandparents usually stay here when they come because most of the time the grandparents are over 80, and the staircase going up to the first floor is quite steep. And so they really enjoy staying. It closes up entirely, and it's got its own bathroom, and it's got AC and the whole thing, and it's got blackouts and stuff. So it's very, very private if the grandparents.
And you have a full bathroom actually for this.
Yes, absolutely. And it's actually wheelchair accessible as well. It was made and created in order to, we've never had someone come with a wheelchair, but for anybody who's interested, I was doing a Let's Connect Zoom call with an agent recently, and she asked if it was wheelchair accessible, and it really is. It's very,
it's very rare for an island like that. Huh? So on the first floor, you have 4 bedrooms, and which are all beautiful, great views.
Yeah, every room has a view. Every room has, 360-degree views from the bedroom and from the bathroom. And then there's 2 rooms in the attic. Those with, again, multi-generational families with a lot of kids can easily sleep because there's a lot of day beds and a lot of, beds that we can put in there. Can easily sleep between 6 to 7 kids in each room.
Yep.
Just to give you an idea, the biggest multi-gen family we've ever accommodated in this one house is 16 adults and 17 kids from ages 2 to 17.
All right, so definitely.
And everybody was very comfortable. Everybody was very not stepping on each other's feet and stuff. It was very, very accommodating. Yeah, that's the guest house. This used to be my personal home that we've turned into a guest house because sometimes we have huge groups. Or sometimes we have 2 families who come and don't want to share the villa. So one family has the villa and one family has the guest house. It's got the exact same accommodations. It's 4 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms on each floor, and a sharing bathroom. So 1 bathroom on each floor for the 2 bedrooms. But it's got a dining area, a living area. It's like a full house, and it's got exactly all the same amenities as the villa. But instead of getting the ocean view, you've got the jungle view, which is also very spectacular and very nice. It's a very comfortable, it used to be my home, so it's a very comfortable home.
So you have a lake, huh? In the middle of your island, you have a lake, and in the middle of the lake, you have another island. So that's
exactly. It's a little,
unusual,
but This is our pergola, which is beautiful at night. It's all lit up, and we have center table like you can see here, but you can't really see into it. But and this is very, very beautiful. Oh, there you go. And we have a pontoon on the lake that goes around where you have cocktails and little boquitas and stuff. And then we park the pontoon, and literally 20 seconds, you take a stroll down to the pergola, and you have this al fresco dining with Wilmo that you see on the picture now, our chef from Ecuador, who's been here for 3.5 years now. Very talented, very creative. He cooks about anything and everything that anybody wants and desires. That's the pontoon I'm talking about.
He did a wonderful Indian dinner, and then somebody was asking, I remember somebody was asking, can you do something like really, I think Cesar salad, what was pizza? I think pizza and
hamburgers and hot dogs.
And then the next day, surprise everybody. Is like, wow.
It'll be the best junk food you'll ever have. I mean,
that was fantastic.
Yeah, he makes very healthy food. Like, he makes incredible junk food. It's whatever. His fried chicken is the best fried chicken you'll ever have. I mean, it's like, this guy is out of this world. We're very, very lucky to have him. I mean, it's a whole, Sweet Bocas is about experiences, and it's about having different types of experiences. So the gastronomical part of the experience here is extremely important, because there's a lot of beautiful places in the world, but I think that if you eat well, chances are you'll talk about it a lot more than if you don't. So that's, and I used to have restaurants before, so it's important. It's very important.
And it's really, you have the best food around. So even if Bocas del Toro is not far, you have a boat, clients can take the boats and go to Bocas del Toro. It's only 10 minutes.
Absolutely.
But what I like is you offer a different dining experience.
Yes. No,
so
absolutely.
You almost feel you're going out somewhere. When you take your little pontoon, you float around for a while, and then look at these big party scenes waiting for you. You know, the music and nightlife.
That's where we do Christmas dinner. That's where we do New Year's Eve. That's where we do, a lot of people come to celebrate milestone birthdays or anniversaries or whatever. And that's what we, that's where we do like this one very special night in this area, which is very magical when you're there. And we have trios, and we have a salsa band, and they're absolutely phenomenal. I mean, the client, and that's a surprise for the client. The client doesn't pay for that. This is on Sweet Bocas. And so when they start going around the pontoon, they're hearing this music, but they don't know whether it's live or whether it's just playing on a speaker somewhere. And so when they get on right here in the entrance and they see that there's a trio or a band there, everybody just like freaks out and starts dancing and starts really like, partying and enjoying themselves. So it's really, really nice to see. This is about house.
Tell us a bit of all the activities, because there are a lot of activities.
Yes.
So it's
many. Yeah, there's, I mean, obviously everything that has to do with water that you can possibly imagine, we offer, and we have all the toys. We have a Boston whaler, so you can water ski, you can wakeboard, you can subwing, you can tube, you can, like whatever it is that you can think about regarding water, we have. And then there's scuba diving. There's a PADI school in town that if you want to get certified or if you want to do diving, you can. There's incredible surfing, because we have some of the best reefs in the world for surfing. So I would say 50% of our clients come here for the surf. And then you've got the hiking and the horseback riding and all the excursions and explorations that you can do in the archipelago, as far as cultural exchanges with the indigenous community is concerned, as far as the history of the archipelago, the biodiversity, the nature. I mean, it's like, you name it, you got it. We had a couple who came 3 times this year. The first time alone, and then the other 2 times with different peoples. They stayed a matter of 2 months all in all throughout the year. And for a month and a half, they did, because the last 2 weeks they were here for surfing, but the first month and a half, they did an activity every day. And they did not repeat the same activity twice in a month and a half. So, you talk about hiking, because they were really into hiking. We took them to like 8 different places of hiking. So it's like, there's a lot to be seen and there's a lot to do. I mean, it's like, if people are very active and they're worried that they're going to be sitting there looking at the ocean, it's not the case. But if you want to do that, you can as well. I mean, we've had clients who have never left the house. and who never had the interest to leave the house, and hung out in hammocks and ate good food and drank, great drinks, and we're very happy. There's a little bit for everybody. I mean, it's like whatever the client wants, the client does, and the client gets. It's very custom made, very, very custom made.
And you're the only pool I know where you actually change the water of your pool. I have never forget this, where you told me, oh, you think it's important to mention? I said, this is a huge selling point. You want freshwater pool or you want a seawater pool? And you think that, I remember, it was a few years ago.
But it's funny because when we ask, everybody has asked us to have fresh water in the pool, because when they go into the ocean, they jump into the pool to rinse off and want fresh water. We have not had one client yet asking for seawater. Not yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have wonderful people working with you for many years. Yeah.
We're very fortunate. The staff is incredible. The hostesses, the activity guides, everybody is, the yogi, the masseuses. I mean, it's like everyone is very passionate about what they do. Everyone.
Very good. They're very good at what they do as well. Absolutely. Not only passionate, they are fantastic level, really.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the surf, but it's not right there because in front of you, it's always so peaceful and calm, which is nice. This is nice. And then, but very close, like what, 10, 15 minutes away?
We have reefs as close as 10, 15 minutes and as far as an hour away, depending on, where the swells are or how close the client wants to go. Because yes, here we're located in a bay and we're very protected. So it's always very calm. There's never any waves. There's never any, so it's very quiet and peaceful to go swimming in the ocean without a problem, even for kids.
Yeah.
But yes, the reefs. And the good thing about Bocas is that whether you're a beginner who's never surfed before and who's coming to learn, or whether you're an intermediate or an advanced surfer, there are reefs for everybody. Mm-hmm. So if you've got different people with different levels in the same group coming, everybody is well served, and we have different boats going different places, and depending on whether you're coming with a pro surfer or not, we have instructors, and depending on the amount of people there is and stuff, we adjust according to how many instructors we need. So most of the time we've had surfers coming, the groups have been very big. This was pre-COVID. During COVID, there hasn't been many surfers coming at all. I don't know if it's just a coincidence or what, but we used to have groups coming in pre-COVID. There was like nothing less than 15 or 17 people coming, and they were all surfers, but they were all different levels. So we had up to like 5 different instructors. Although this year we had a family coming in from Germany in April for Easter, and there were 5 of them, and they each wanted an instructor. So we had 5 instructors. Mm-hmm. So it depends on the demand, and it depends. And they went as close as 10 minutes from here, and then they ventured out to this beautiful place called Cusapin, which is an hour away from here. The beaches are gorgeous. The thing that you have to remember is that every beach here and everything in the archipelago here is still very pristine. The Panamanian government, unfortunately, did not do what Costa Rica did decades ago on promoting the country the way that Costa Rica did, because I would say Panama has just the same amount as biodiversity and nature and everything else, and some places probably even more beautiful than Costa Rica, just because it's been untouched and it's never been visited or it's never been commercialized. And so when people come to Panama, they're very surprised. They're very fascinated about how pristine, if you're into nature and biodiversity and all that, how pristine it is, because there's nobody here.
And I think it feels very safe as well.
Correct. Panama, in all of Central and Latin America, Panama is recognized as being the safest country in the last 15 years. It's gotten the fastest growing GDP. The middle class here in Panama is growing and growing, even with the COVID and everything else. It's the fastest growing GDP in 15 years, and it's the safest country in the last 15 years to go to. I've been here for 14, 15 years now, and I've gone everywhere and anywhere in the country, and I've never, ever, ever, ever felt threatened or never felt unsafe in any of the places I ever went. Of course, you can't go into the there's a little part of Casco Viejo that's like behind in Panama City, just like any city in the world. You don't find yourself there alone at night because it's just, you know, there's like, it's like a favela. It's like a, you know, gangster thing. So, but that's like but I mean, other than that, you know, like it's extremely safe. Yeah.
So you're great for everything, for family, but also maybe meeting and incentive, team building, because you have so much to offer. I mean, I think on the island, it's not just celebration.
No. Yeah. I mean, yes, there's some people, I mean, I'm talking about milestone birthdays and anniversaries and stuff, but people come as well just to relax and take it easy. I mean, there's groups of friends that have gotten together to come here just because they wanted to reconnect together and hadn't seen each other in a long time and whatever, and came to spend a week here. So, you know, it depends. It's whatever the client is using it for. So these are, you know, boats that we have that you have access to, wakeboarding. And in the rental price, everything is included, like all the boats, all the fuel, all the captains and everything like that. There's no extras as far as anything and everything that you use when you're on property. So the only extras that you have are massages or whatever is concerning regarding the spa. I mean, obviously, if you want to have a pro tennis come to teach you, because we have Gabriela Sabatini's ex-coach when she used to play, who moved to Panama 15 years ago. We've had a few clients who've asked him to come, so that you have to pay for. If you want to get certified PADI, you have to pay for. But I mean, all the activities that we were talking about before are all included.
Yeah. I'm going to jump. Marisa, you had a question. Can you kite surf where you surf?
No, because the beaches are not long enough to be able to do that. The place that you kite surf is on the Pacific side. The beaches are kilometers and kilometers long. The only problem with the Pacific side is that you don't have luxurious accommodations. I mean, there's Islas Secas, but Islas Secas doesn't do any kite surfing. They don't. So you have to go on the Pacific side, which is about an hour and a half away from Panama City. The only place to kite surf in Panama is a place called Nitro City. And I'm not sure that you would want to send any of your clients there unless they're backpackers and are looking to, you know, have a nice trip on kite surfing. But the accommodations are, I would say, close to being like a hostel kind of accommodation thing. So if your client is looking for luxury, it's not the place to send them to.
So you have your own little boats as well?
Yeah, we have 2 aquacats, and it's quite fun because the father and son and mother and daughter, or, you know, depending on who's here or whatever, kind of like have these regattas and competitions, and it's really fun, and it's a great little hobby for people. We have a little
as well, huh?
We do, but, you know, since we've had it, it's funny because
it's good couple, you know, if somebody's asking, do you have a beach? It's good to say you do. Voila. Huh? And then I agree with you. So much to do. Me, I love to be on the deck of your villa and just jumping. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when people get here, they forget about the beach. I mean, they don't even ask about going to a beach. It's like, you know, the first people who've actually wanted to go to a beach were the couple that I was talking about this year that were here for like 2 months. They wanted to go and just hang out on the beach and have a picnic and stuff, and, you know, all that. So we organized all of that and everything, but it was the first time in 7 years that someone actually wanted to do that. So,
but I think when you have young kids, maybe it's good because they could be playing like right there, you know, like so that's
yeah.
All right. So, but if you want a bigger beach or wilder beach,
these are the types of things that I'm talking about. I mean, they're very deserted. There's nobody around. There might be like a family of indigenous that, you know, will be curious to see you because you happen
to that's seen in the months.
But they're not, exactly. But they're not invasive, you know, they don't bother anybody and stuff. And that's if there is somebody there, because there's about 300 and something islands in the entire archipelago, and only 5 are habited. And these might be habited, like I said, by a family of, you know, 4 or 5, but it's very rare that you'll come across somebody. And so we take the clients, if they want to, we take them around with our yachts and they see it from up close and stuff. And, you know, it's very beautiful to also just be nearby. But none have asked to actually go and take a walk on the beach and just kind of hang out. But yeah, it's there.
It's amazing, because Panama is so close to the US by the Americas. And then at the same time, you can still discover uninhabited islands who look like that and are safe.
Absolutely.
So it is puzzling in a way. But as you said, because the tourism has not been developed as maybe it should have been, and therefore you have now, you're going to gain from that, because people are looking more and more for these places where it looks like this.
And I would say, you know, where we are on the Caribbean side, you can kind of, you know, compare it to the Maldives, but not having to go on the other side of the world to actually get there, and just be a hop, skip, and a jump away to come here. Because from New York, it's a 4.5-hour trip. And from Miami, it's like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. From LA and San Francisco, it's 6 hours. I mean, it's like, it's not that much. You have to go to the Maldives, it takes you an entire day. It's like you're, you know, with the layovers and with the flights and this and that. I mean, it takes you 24 hours to get there. So, you know, the water is,
you have a minimum of 4 officially, and three when we teach you a little bit. But this is good because it's a long weekend and it's easy. You know, as you said, you don't have to go far, and it's so, when you arrive, you already relax because it's so different from many things.
Yeah. And we literally, whether the client flies private or commercial, we literally take the client by the hand from the minute he lands in Panama, no matter where it is, to the minute he leaves. So if you're flying private, we take care of all the papers and documents and immigration and customs and stuff prior to the client's arrival, so that when the client arrives, he doesn't have to wait. And then if it's commercial, the driver waits for you outside of the airport, takes you from one airport to the other. If not, we have a VIP service that someone waits for you off the plane and takes you to the personal private terminal for private flights. I mean, it's like the client does not have to think about one thing from the minute he arrives to the minute he leaves. And I take care of it all with you. The only person you're working with is myself. So it's very easy. It's very uncomplicated. It's very smooth. There's no hiccups. There's no nothing. I mean, it's like, you know, there's never, I mean, I'm going to touch wood because there's a lot, but in 7 years being operational, we've never, ever had any issues. We've never had any problems. We've never had any complications of anything, you know, and all the clients have been very respectful of the property, and it's been wonderful. I don't have one horror story to tell so far. So it's only been 7 years. Maybe in 7 more years, you know, there'll be 1 or 2, but right now there hasn't been. So this picture here is wonderful. This is a new addition from the family that we had here for Festive last year. It's a giant screen that literally just comes out of the ocean, and you have movie night, or you can binge on whatever TV series that you want under the stars. And it's absolutely, I've done it twice so far. And it's absolutely magical. It's like, it's magical. And we had the family that was here for surfing for Easter, who were here for 10 days, had movie night every single night they were here. Even after doing the pergola and the pontoon and the Kasbah and all the different places that we have to have dinner, they had movie night every night for 8 days. They loved it so much. And the weather was wonderful, and there was never any rain, and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so it's really an incredible experience. It's very cool. You sit there on the trampoline here, but you can also bring the day beds that you saw prior in the presentation over there, and you can just lie on them and just watch whatever it is you want to watch. And this is the staff. So we have one person less now, which is Tyson, who's right next to me, who passed away last year. Which I miss tremendously every day since. But yeah, so we have 27 people on staff. Client interacts more or less daily, like constantly, with about 10 or 12. And then the others are just all around the property, whether they're part of the farm, because we have a farm here. That's the other important thing you have to know, is that we are self-sustainable. So we have our own vegetable gardens and our own fruit forest, and we have our own chickens and eggs, and we cultivate our fish and seafood. The only thing we don't have are meats and dairy products, which we import the meats from Colombia and Argentina, and we buy the dairies in organic farms that are in Boquete, which is the province next door in mountains, where they can raise cows and make dairies and all that kind of stuff, which we can't do here in the tropics because it's too hot. So, but yeah, you interact with, you know, technical.
So Teresa, you're wondering already, thank you, that if Annick has availability March 20 to 26, family of 5, huh? We will send you the information.
I have a family coming in on the 12th and leaving on the 26th. The last weeks of March are out.
Okay, already, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, you know, people are booking, like, it's really, yeah, but the March 12th to 26th is booked right now.
All right, so Teresa, we'll send you the rates and everything, and hopefully maybe we'll have some other dates, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, Céline, you had a question, but I didn't understand it well. I know that if you were asking if Annick were working with tour operator, she does work with some tour operator. If this was your question, there is absolutely no difference than booking through a tour operator than booking through us. And I think I don't see any other question. Anyone else has a question? No more? All right. Teresa, what tour operator do you work with? So you work with Ultimate Jet. I think you work with Island Destination, ID Group.
Yes.
Voyage by Pascal, Classic Vacation. I don't know if you are, no. It's not that we don't want, Teresa, but they actually did an approach to get a contract. Voilà. So that would be with pleasure. And then you can make all the reservations through us or through Annick. You know, you could also, maybe if you wanted to discuss a booking with her, we have Let's Connect 365, our appointment platform that everybody likes. Everybody likes. And you know, today I had a Let's Connect myself. Somebody was making an appointment and she was thrilled about it. She actually was from Canada. You know how she used Let's Connect? She invited her clients to join her when talking with the hotel. And I thought, wow, that is smart. Imagine if you are trying to convince the clients to go there, you have this private 15 minutes with Annick, and your clients can join, ask the question, and that's it.
I always offer, when an agent is like close to a booking, I mean, it's my utmost pleasure to get on a call and talk about anything and everything that the client wants. I mean, especially through COVID and everything, if they want to know protocols and all that. I mean, we were in quarantine here with the entire staff for 18 months before everybody got vaccinated. And even now that everybody's vaccinated, we're still very strict on who travels and who doesn't. I mean, the women all travel because they have kids, but it's very limited. It's very restricted yet still. And when there's clients here, nobody goes anywhere the entire time. The client is
you're a very protected environment for that.
Yes, absolutely. It's very healthy and it's very safe, and you don't have to wear a mask when you're here. People feel, you know, the efforts that we've gone through to do this. But sometimes, unless you talk with me, because I've done it 3 times now since COVID. And that's what closed the deal, because they saw that, you know, we were really taking it very seriously, and that the island's never been contaminated, and that they can feel like
mask-free environment as well. So we always, you said we sell the island. It's like before, huh? It's like
it's nothing changed for us. You know, other than headaches for me, having to manage 27 people going through a crisis, being confined here for 18 months, you know, nothing for the client's experience has changed. Nothing. Customer service is as impeccable as it was before. The food and beverage is as extraordinary as it was before. I'm still here.
You even did a lot of improvement. I think you enlarged the farm, the product, what you plant. You've done a lot more. And look at the 4-bedroom guest house was not there before. Set up for the guest. Huh?
Yeah, no, we've done a lot of upgrades. We've done a lot. I mean, it allowed us to do that when we were in a complete lockdown. That's the choice we made, was that we kept everybody here. We kept everybody working. Everybody was eating 3 meals a day and sending the money to their families. Because that's the other part of Sweet Bocas, is that we did this as a social responsibility. This was my way to give back to the community in some way, instead of like fundraising, money for R&D for different foundations and stuff of things that I used to do in another life. I wanted something more gratifying. And so we, instead of shutting down the property and saying we're going to come back when this thing blows over, which nobody knew, how long it was going to last, we spoke to banks and organized and arranged things, because you have to know that every penny of every rental is reinvested into the project. So we don't get any money coming in. We're fine. So this isn't, I'm not, my story is not about being a billionaire wanting to buy a private island for vanity, by all means. I mean, it's like, this is not the case. So we kept on, and my father was confined here with us for like 5 months last year. And so having him here was absolutely wonderful. And helped us tremendously. And so, so when you're here, you also see where your money goes, and there's a participation about that. And I think that the couple who came here 3 times this year was also because of that. They knew that every penny they gave us went into the property
of the staff as well.
And every time they came, they saw improvements, because they saw that their money was being put in the good place, and it was wonderful, and they visited the staff houses, and they spoke with the staff, and they were interacting with them and everything. I mean, it was great. It was really.
Thank you, Annick, for sharing all this. Marisa, you have a question on the pictures on our website. You can see there is on the menu, there is something called Dropbox. You have access to all the folders, and each folders, you have all the picture, high res, low res, presentation. The presentation I showed today is right there already, and so on, and the rates and everything. And you can take everything for your social media or to use. Anyone can do that. And this, we will be sending you the recording, but this video, like all the other video recording, on our YouTube channel, Dominique Debay Collection, in case you want to share it. And don't forget the Let's Connect, as I mentioned, to take appointments with
I love doing
demons. Right. Thank you. Always a pleasure to feel everyone. I can't see everyone, but I know you're here. So thank you very much for your faithfulness and loving our webinar. Thank you, my dear Annick, and I hope to see you soon to give you a big hug. Oh, I absolutely like more. Sorry, I missed most of it. We will send you the recording. Muy interesante, Gloria. Buenas tardes de Peru. And Ati, thank you for the good comment, the wonderful comments.
Thank you, everybody.
Everyone. So, Céline, au revoir, Céline. Merci, Annick, she said. Bye. Bye-bye.
Ciao.